all the time. To the ranking member, of course, you recognize that.
Thank you very much. I want to talk to you about the women of the world. Women are often the key to ensuring long-lasting and resilient democracies, and countries where women doing well tend to be countries with fair elections, vibrant civil societies, and independent and accountable institutions. Well, I guess I'll make it. You agree, I guess. You'll shake your head yes. All right. That's not the question, though.
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you, member.
So one of the many casualties of the foreign assistance review by the Trump administration, programs centered on the unique role of women in society, economy, or political life were terminated across USAID, the state's DRL Bureau, and the Office of Global Women's Issues. So what I would like for you to do first is if you could comment on how empowering women is connected to democracy. Tell us about maybe some of the programs you are involved in that regard, and what concerns should we have, if you have an opinion, in terms of the United States terminating some of the programs.
Thank you for that question. I'd say the concept of NED support for women is really political participation. It's part of our broader mission to ensure that strengthened democratic institutions reflect their people, ensure equal access to civic life and public life for all citizens. And so our work focuses on expanding opportunities for women that involve and get involved in public affairs and public life, civil society, media, and governance. You may have participated in programs, leadership programs that IRI and NDI often run with women parliamentarians. But we do this in a way that is reflective of how the endowment operates, appropriate for local context, what is appropriate in that culture, the demand that comes from those societies. So if you think about it, this leads to work where our partners are helping criminalizing violence against women in societies, working for their inclusion and public governance and oversight. SIPE and Solidarity are involved in women's business associations and the economic opportunities for them as well. There's a way to think about this in a country like Morocco that had a relatively new constitution, yet a family code that was really outdated. We have a partner there, Manasset, that really worked with a coalition of civil society groups with the government to update the family code, getting 19 reforms passed through a pretty laborious process that had a fundamental impact on the lived experience of women in society, consistent with the Constitution, by giving them rights to inheritance, to custody, to guardianship, and freedom of movement. That's the type of partnership, the type of work that the endowment helps support.
Okay, thank you. Do you do any, I'm just curious, do you do any work to try to stop genital mutilation in the world?
I don't know specifically the answer to that, so I can come back to you on the
Okay.
details, but we have strong programs across Africa that involve women's leadership rights and participation, so I'll come back to you with a specific answer on that.
And what, it's just from your observation, what are the major risks that the women that you're working with are facing?
So in many places, we see that part of this has been having a seat at the table, whether in political parties and public parliaments, having a voice in shaping policies that impact them. In other cases, we've seen there are real challenges to security, to personal well-being. We've seen, for example, in China, a targeting of Uyghur women through sterilization practices to have an actual impact on the demographic composition of the populations of Western China, of Xinjiang. So it really ranges depending on the openness of the environment and the closed nature of that. But it's been, I think, a fundamental issue both in our support for democracy and in challenging authoritarian repression of half of their society.
What about sexual assault as a tool of war?
This has been a big issue across our programs in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I've had a chance to visit with some of our partners in Eastern Congo, Southern Congo.
What do the programs do?
You may know Denis Mukwege, who is one of our partners in the DRC, one of the Nobel Peace Prize winners, who is part of our portfolio. And part of what he has done is help treat and help communities prepare to help women that have been abused by sexual violence in the conflict in Eastern Congo. But I think more than that, we're not a humanitarian organization. We have groups that are working in communities to help raise awareness, to help stigmatize the practice of doing this in Congo, to create a sense of documentation of this so that there is an accountability, and to create resilience both among women's groups but also among communities to support those who have been victimized by this violence. So the endowment comes at it not just from a humanitarian perspective, we come at it from a democracy, fundamental freedoms, and governance perspective.
Thank you. Yield back.
Thank you. Mr. Scamani, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you for being here with us and answering our questions, and thank you for coming today. I'm going to get right to it. We have a short period of time, so hopefully we can get through a lot of these questions, and I know we have a second round. But